What's up, guys? Welcome to SoCal Fishing Forecast for Thursday, June 4th. Remember, if you like everything you see on here, please give us a shout, like, share, subscribe, or if you want to drop a report of your own, please leave it in the comment section. We're looking forward to hearing from you. Let's talk wind. Currently, the wind situation is looking okay Thursday, Friday. We'll let this play out here for you so you can check what we got going on. But basically, we have an eddy condition popping up right now. Moderate south winds through Thursday and Friday. Much to be expected. Hazy skies. The typical June gloom scenario. Unfortunately, Saturday morning it's going to get nasty. We got some onshore wind coming on, and it's going to hold heavy through Sunday as well, and most of next week. So unfortunately, that's not looking too good for us. This has been the devil wind, so to speak. It keeps popping up on the weekends when everyone's trying to go out and go fishing, unfortunately. So make sure that you keep checking your local forecasts ahead of time before you head out. Make sure conditions are safe for your boat. I did manage to escape out on Sunday, despite the heavy wind. I knew that was going to be an issue, but we took a shot at those bluefin down south in Mexico anyway, and conditions were horrendous. We started off leaving Mission Bay, and we're going downhill with the swell for the first part, and then sideways with it, so it wasn't too bad. But once we got past the 371, a little bit west here, the swell really ramped up. We had like a 4 to 6 foot short period swell, and needs to say the wipers were on the whole day, and the wind blowing pretty ridiculously. Flying the kite was super hard to keep that yummy down. It wasn't just that it was blowing 15 plus, but you get those gusts to like 20, 25, and then all of a sudden the kite is launching up high, lifting your yummy out. So really hard to keep it skipping the way you want to. And I mean, even at one point, I was pointing the boat downwind, flying the kite in front of me, and that's pretty ridiculous conditions for trying to fly a kite. So check out those wind conditions before you head out. Not something you're going to be wanting to deal with, or have it be unsafe for your friends on board. Weather's looking decent. Next couple days, like I said, overcast skies. Thursday, Friday, early Saturday. It's going to warm up a little bit next week, thankfully, but that wind is still going to be problematic for most areas. So with that being said, let's talk fishing. 7-day chart here. I'm sorry, this is the 3-day sea surface chart, sea surface temperature chart. Looking pretty good. Same pattern we've been seeing for, I'd say the last month. I'll give you the trend for the last month, which is fantastic because it makes finding these fish a lot easier on the outside. And here's a look at the 3-day. We got a little chopped off with that fog as well. 3 days pretty much blocked, but the 1 day we got a sneak peek here on the inside. So you can see it's a little shaded here, but you get the idea. Overall, the trend is your friend, and pretty hard up on the trend right now. So as far as fishing goes, we'll start up north. There's been some yellows caught up here, Channel Islands, all the islands basically. But you got to keep a good look at this wind scenario. The sport boats are out fishing out of Oxnard, as far as I know, in Ventura. Don't be surprised by increased rates for these boats because they've been shut down. They happen to do a whole bunch of extra stuff to even get you guys on board, including limited load, etc. So if you see the price being a little bit higher than normal, it ain't because of the gas. So please keep that in mind. Unfortunately, San Diego boats are still stuck at the dock. The county approved it, but they're waiting for guidance for Newsom, and I really think it has a lot to do with the overnight scenario with guys in the bunk room and how many people is acceptable. But I know the Thunderbird will be out fishing next week, so check them out. I know Jeff's been itching to get back out there. So as far as the other islands, Santa Barbara Island has actually had quite a bit of decent yellowtail fishing. It's been off and on. Not every day has it been on fire. There's not a lot of people out there looking either. So please keep that in mind. Let's talk Catalina. Catalina's gotten pretty interesting this last week. Let's take a look at the other chart just here so we can get a better idea. 1 day is not helping. 3 days not helping either. Well, we tried. But you can kind of use this sea surface temperature chart as a little indication here. When you see the dark spots and the other charts are kind of blocked up, it's usually because this has got more chlorine in it. The light reflects off of it, heats up the water, so it's kind of a cheater way to look for that kind of stuff, and you'll see it'll kind of match up here with the trend that we are looking at as well for down here. So that being said, the fishing at the east end has been pretty good. Yellows have been around pretty consistently in the last week. I will tell you that the carnage has been out front of Avalon. They have squid. They've been there almost every day, and they're trying to make squid every night. So the squid is scattered, guys. I mean, it's not really consistent everywhere. So I would say if you're gonna try and save some time, whip up to the carnage, get a scoop. It's like $70, I think, right now. So it'll save you a lot of time versus spending all night out there trying to make squid. White sea bass have been around. They're not always biting. They've been anywhere from Frog Point to the V's. Look for the milky water with some good current, especially if it's running into a kelp line or into some structure like a rock. Like I said, they're biting the squid primarily. Now the yellows are eating both. Same with the typical calico action and barracuda that's around too. So don't feel like you have to have squid if you're hunting down the yellows. But basically, the east end has been really good. It's had current and clear water anywhere from Can Dumps to Empire Landing, Stony Point, the front side, Ironbound, Salto Verde, Silver Canyon, Orange Rocks, all the way around the back. So don't be afraid to go looking for that clean water and current. That's probably going to help you find the yellows a little bit better. But it seems like they've really picked up the last couple of days. And they've been anywhere from 20 to 30 pounds. So that's some fun yellow fishing for sure. San Clemente Island, the Fury has been out here fishing off and on last couple days, and they're cruising up and down the front side, looking for those yellows. Persane Rock has been a pretty consistent place over the past couple weeks to find them, but for the most part, they're working all the way from Hole in the Wall, Gold Bluff, White Rock. Also other good areas to look for it. There's also some reports of them around the dunes area at the end of the runway. If you're familiar with that, that's on the upper west side of the island. So don't be afraid to go looking there as well. As far as squid and pyramid, I haven't heard anything recently, but it's probably worth a look if you got a chance. I haven't checked the schedule yet for this weekend for the island, but you can always do that. It likes to change quite a bit. Coronados have been really hit and miss, guys. There's been yellows around. Some days they're on fire. Sometimes there's nothing. And there's also been some random bluefin showing up as well, especially on the south end. So be prepared that you might run into those. It doesn't sound like they're the big dogs, but at least the 20, 30 pounder, maybe a 40 pounder in there. So if you're checking out the islands, be prepared that you might have to make a stop on some breezing fish as well. Now let's talk the Bluefin and Yellowfin show down here below the Mexican border. There was a spotted yellowfin today, spotted below the 182 area. Unfortunately, they didn't get them to bite, but they are up, and that's a good sign. They're on the right side of the border, which is nice. Bluefin. The bluefin strategy has been changing this year quite a bit. I will say so far the best way that these guys are finding them is to get into the area that you want to be at, put up the yummy on the kite, troll around the yummy, and start scoping out the area, or as Aldi likes to call it, mowing the lawn. So pick your pattern, go with the wind, whatever direction you're going to go, and start making a pass in a zigzag of the area that you want to cover. And while you're doing that, you should be also trolling for yellowfin. We got bluefin and yellowfin mixed in at the moment. And Ali got a bluefin to bite on a Nomad MTX minnow, which is pretty cool. Trolling, I would recommend one, keeping your lines way back. It'll give you a chance to get a look at those bluefin if they do want to pop up and bite on the troll, which is, like I said, pretty unusual. And then also that'll allow you to keep your kite up if you're flying the kite on the side, which is the direction I would recommend if you're going to be trolling behind the boat. So I would be trolling like a Rapala, one of those Nomad lures like I was talking about, and maybe a cedar plug. And that's the way I would be trying to spot these fish. Now, let's say you start rolling up and you start seeing a bunch of marks on the kite's going to stay up. You're not going to lose the kite, right? It's going to stay in its place. Throw a bunch of chum, see if they react to it. If they react to it, it's probably a good chance you got yellowfin. And I would recommend heavy chumming to keep those fish at the boat while you get your lines out. Last year, if you weren't chumming and keep those fish at the boat, they pieced out. But if you had chum, they'd stick with you. I had a 7-hour drift last year. It was unbelievable fishing, super fun. So that's what I would be trying. Now, while the wind's up, and let's say they're stupid bluefin, and you're gonna try and get them going. If they're below 200 feet, they're probably not gonna come up and mess with anything you got on the surface. So let's say they're 150 and up in the water column. Let's go ahead and slow down the boat. Hold up. Let's pull in your yummy and put out a dead flyer, and then you can just kind of sit there and watch that, and maybe fish another bait or two on top while you're messing around. Or if you want, you can try putting a heavy lead sinker on with a rubber band and drop it down to that 150 foot water column level with like a big mackerel. Or something I'm going to try this year, I got some of those giant squids from Chase Baits. I've rigged them up like a yummy flyer. I'll put up a video of that as well. But that's something that I'm going to try this year, just to change it up. You never know. I haven't seen anybody try it yet, so why not? So that's the way I'd be attacking these bluefin. I mean, if they're up and breezing, sure, let's throw jigs at them. But it seems like these fish haven't really been up. Every once in a while, you might see them on a slack tide, high or low, doesn't really matter. But let's try and pick up some of these bluefin this year on this little pattern. It seems to be working for everyone. So, all right, if you guys got any questions, concerns, reports, fire them up on the comment section, and please share this video with your friends, and we'll try and get all out there and share our stories together. Take care, have a great weekend, and be safe on the water. Cheers.